baby. Let's go ahead and kick this off then.
Yeah, last one.
What? No, it's back. Give it to the quarterback. No, we got the running back. What?
Well, look at this. Two of my favorite people in the world talking to each other.
Straight off the couch. I'm exhausted.
It was a long season, Al. I don't blame you for being exhausted. Before we get too far, though, let me bring in my broadcast partner, the dynamic and disappointed Adam Weidel. Adam, how are you, buddy?
Definitely on the disappointed side, but we completed another season. Here we are on finishing season 3, episode 25 of the show. We've done pretty well for ourselves, considering. Episode
25 for this year.
For this season, yeah.
Yeah, so we're over 100 shows, aren't we?
I think we're pretty close. We're probably at 75 for sure.
Because we did a full season last year, full season this year, and then we did a partial season the year before. I bet we're over 100. We might have to.
Yeah, we did the whole first season. We did strictly playoffs, and then we went all the way up to the draft on what each division needed to do.
Yeah, so we might have to go do some math on this, buddy.
I might have to.
There might be a celebration in order.
I might have to look it up. We might have to break open a couple Coca-Colas or something.
So we all know the outcome of the Super Bowl. It was for 3.5 quarters. I kept texting Adam. This reminds me of the Seattle Arizona Cardinal game because it was all field goals.
Yeah, that was the Seattle Colts game. That was Old Man Rivers. Yeah, that was Old Man Rivers came off the couch with like less than a week of prep and almost took it to the Seahawks.
Yeah. And the Seahawks did what they've done all season. They just figured out a way to win. Then then they finally figured out how to get past midfield, and it seemed to be all over.
Yeah, so we had a pretty boring first half of football, let's be honest. Good defensive game.
Yeah, if you like defense, this was your game.
Drake May threw for 7 completed passes, and the Patriots punter kicked 8 times.
And it did not look like the moment was too big for him. It was just a really good defensive effort on the part of Seattle Seahawks.
I mean, both teams had great defenses. Christian Gonzalez on the Pats saved like 3 touchdowns from happening.
Yeah.
He kept them in the game. It's just they could not get anything going. That front four of Seattle looked scarier than Texas.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, just like we were talking about all year long with the Texans, they were doing it just with 4 down linemen, not bringing extra pressure and getting there. And that's that. If you can do that in the NFL, if you can get pressure with your front four and nobody else, you're going to go deep into the playoffs every year.
But I'll be honest, both teams' quarterbacks did not look good.
No.
It wasn't a showcase of throwing talent, that's for sure.
Did you have that draft class? Did you have that quarterback was going to be the one to get his ring first?
The 2018 draft class?
Yeah. Did you have Sam Darnold on your dance card?
No, I don't think anybody had Sam Darnold on a dance card. And then like the social media posts of like, oh, Sam Darnold got his ring. And I mean, Sam Darnold didn't do shit. He didn't cough up the ball. That's the only thing he did. He did well.
He managed the game really well. I sent you a graphic yesterday, if you remember. The Seahawks were the first team in NFL history to go an entire year without a turnover. That's insane. But that's just they did a lot.
Just the playoffs. They turned it over regular season.
Right.
They were the first playoff team to not turn the ball over.
But when you have a running back as good as Walker, you're going to hand the ball to him a lot, which is going to cut down on your exposure to problems.
They also played one less game than everybody else except the Broncos.
Right.
Well, no, they played one less game than everybody else. The Broncos played 2 games.
Yeah. So
it goes 9-0 going into the half, and then we have the halftime show with the Vicious Rabbit doing the halftime show, Bad Bunny. A lot of hate there.
I'm going to step off of my sports box and onto a different box for a second.
The entertainment box?
Yeah. Why do we need to have a separate halftime show for people who vote differently than the people who like Bad Bunny? What an asinine idea that is.
I didn't even see the second show. Like, I heard about it, but I don't. It's not part of the programming. So why would you bother? Just to appease people?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. It was a political maneuver by Turning Point USA, and I don't have a problem with Turning Point USA. I don't have a dog in that fight one way or the other. But why do you have to have a separate halftime show because you're afraid of Bad Bunny? If you're afraid of any musician, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is musicians have a voice for a reason. You know, they talk about things that are relatable to human beings. You know, they talk about, love, heartbreak, happiness, going to the bar with your friends, whatever it may be, going to the club, right? Things that are relatable in the human existence. Now, Bad Bunny made a little bit of a political statement because, there's a big thing going around on, in the U.S. right now.
Well, it's not just that. There was I don't know if you caught, there was a lot of symbolism in what he did. A lot of symbolism.
A lot of symbolism.
And that's fine. It's fine. Symbolism is fine.
First thing we need to talk about is that Next Gen Stats calculated him getting 174 yards of rushing from the drop down of that because he held the football and walked down this little.
Did the whole time? Yeah, held the football the whole time.
It held so they calculated him at getting 174 yards of rushing. So he actually got more rushing yards than
both teams.
Than both teams. The kid that he gave his Grammy to was kind of an ode to his childhood. There was, I don't know if anybody noticed, a lot of people probably just close their eyes and their ears because they're like, I don't understand the language, so it makes no sense to me. I didn't understand a word of it either, but I was trying to watch the visual story. Ever since The Weeknd did the halftime show at the 2021 Super Bowl, I've been really interested in how they do the camera work with these shows now. It's not just pointed at a stage.
Right. No, there are people in amongst the dancers and the participants.
Yeah, and they're telling a story. So Bad Bunny was basically telling a story. The couple that was getting the married couple, it looked like they were celebrating a wedding. They were actually married during the Super Bowl. Like, that was part of it. The kid that he gave the Grammy to was a kid that was arrested by ICE, I guess.
No, it wasn't. It was an actor, but that was supposed to symbolize
it was supposed to symbolize it?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's varying reports there. I have some other thoughts on the halftime show, but I think the halftime show overall was well done.
It was well produced. I full disclosure, I used to mix on a freestyle station, so Latin music is not something I'm a stranger to at all. But I like you said, I watched it. The visuals were striking, but it wasn't. If I'm picking Super Bowl, I'm not picking Bad Bunny again. That's all. That's all. It's not like I liked him or disliked him. It's just I would go a different route if I was in charge.
I think you're going to be very disappointed for next year's Super Bowl because I think Jay-Z's company that's been contracted to do these, he's going to make big, flashy statements, and he's going to use the people in his stable. He's not going to go out of his way to get whoever the hottest, newest artist is signed to a different label. He's going to use his own talent.
I think Bieber's next year. I think Bieber at halftime next year.
Bieber?
Justin Bieber, yeah. I think it's the Biebs.
Speaking of entertainment, before we move on to the second half of this game, Green Day opened up the show.
And they're politically active as well.
Yeah, so there was big political statements on, when you sing American Idiot.
Well, and the woman who sang America the Beautiful is a famous LGBTQ.
Yeah, everybody's using it as a springboard for their platform, right?
Yeah. Now, I don't have a problem with you having a platform. I have a problem with you having a voice. But I like a little less politics in my sports. That's all I'm saying.
I'm all for people and their beliefs, and if you have different beliefs than me, then great, but just don't cram shit down my throat. I think that's the big thing for me.
Yeah. I have enough of my own opinions. I don't need yours in my head either.
Yeah. Well, I'll listen. I'll listen. It might change my mind, but other than that, like, just don't keep forcing stuff on me. Like,
Yeah,
it just feels, it feels like manipulation in a lot of senses. So
it does. It does.
So Bad Bunny makes his point, and apparently, when they walked off and he was pulling his headset off in the tunnel, they continued to party all the way out into the parking lot. They just kept going.
A little backstory here. My father was an Illinois Bell repair person for the phone system for like 75 years or so. Yeah, okay, he honestly worked there for 45. I was counting the OSHA violations when they were on the telephone poles during the dance routine.
I had the same. I had the same comments. I was talking through the whole halftime show because obviously we weren't listening to the words. Nobody understood them, and I was just like, "Where's his harness?" The girls have harnesses. Where's his?
And then the upside down stuff. You're getting written up for that, darn it.
Yeah. I had other comments too that were, probably a little insensitive because it was all about like immigration and stuff. It's like, that's how you get them to work cheap. They don't have harnesses. But
you can forego
it was a little offside. They were jokes.
You can forego all the safety equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. They were just jokes, guys. That was it. I don't feel that way.
Did you catch the symbolism of that?
No, I didn't. I didn't catch the symbolism of the hydro workers.
Puerto Rico, where Bad Bunny is from, is notorious for having a really, really, really weak power grid. Every time there's a storm, they lose power for 3 or 4 days.
So that's
the power lines are on poles. That's the symbolism there. There's always somebody on a pole outside your house working on the power because it was out for the last 3 days. That's what that was all about.
All right, so halftime show is over. Players have cooled off because they've been sitting in the locker room for 45 minutes.
I think some of them actually needed to shave for the second half.
Yeah, you just you grow a Kevin Stefanski beard while you're waiting for the second half. So we go out into the third quarter, and it starts off with a punt, and then a field goal, and then a punt, and then a punt, and then a punt, and then a punt, and then the first real action that we see, a Drake May fumble.
And I was texting Bratchert, and I actually said, I think this game's going to come down to who makes the most mistakes, who makes the first mistake.
2 minutes before that happened, it was growing frustration in the house. Like, let's come on,
do something, do something,
poke him with the stick kind of vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said somebody's going to have to lose the ball for this game to take off, and 2 minutes later, just happened to be my guy lost the ball. So that ends the third quarter. Basically a fumble.
Yeah, and that's 3 quarters with nobody in the end zone during the Super Bowl, boys and girls.
Yeah, and then to open the fourth quarter, Seattle capitalizes, gets the touchdown. New England answers with a 65-yard touchdown.
They finally put a drive together, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening here? Is this 28-3 all over again? Like, I got a little too hopeful.
Yeah.
And then a punt.
And then another, yeah.
And then an interception. Yeah, Drake May just chucked her down the middle of the field. I was like, as soon as he chucked it, I was like, there's going to be no receiver there.
I don't think he chucked it. I think he was doing a Jameis Winston impression.
Oh, maybe he did the little jump ball thing. Then we had a field goal. Then another Seahawks touchdown. Then another Patriots touchdown.
And they
with a failed 2-point conversion.
2-point conversion, and I was texting Bratchard after that second Seattle touchdown. I said, "This game is done."
And then with 32 seconds left in the game, Seattle punts.
Yeah,
and that was pretty much the whole game. It was punt fest.
Well, and I thought Walker was going to get the MVP, but you could have made the point for the Seattle field goal kicker. It could have been he deserved to win because he was doing that.
I kind of said Myers was the MVP.
Yeah.
He literally beat the Patriots with his leg. He put up 17 points himself.
Yeah, highest scoring player on the field was the extra point or the field goal kicker for Seattle.
Yeah. So Not the Super Bowl to remember. It wasn't super exciting. Both these teams had super awesome defenses. Just the better team won.
If you remember, I didn't think the Bears would have gotten past Seattle had they beat the Rams. I think it was just Seattle's year. Not like they were lighting it up. Not like one of those years like the Rams where you just knew the whole time the Rams were going to win.
Patriots didn't have the protection on Drake May.
No,
that's all there is to it.
And I have faith in the Patriots organization. I think Vrabel and company they're going to look at stuff. I imagine there's going to be some changes on that offensive line.
I don't think Will Campbell is going anywhere. I think he's going to stay at left tackle. I think they're just going to develop him more. He is a rookie.
Develop him more and maybe get him a really good left guard to save that so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Maybe get arm extensions. Apparently he has like T-Rex arms.
Right, yeah.
I can't see it. The game's going too fast. I don't really pay attention to those things. But apparently he's got short arms, which is really weird for a left tackle.
Yeah, you usually want
a tackle period.
Yeah, you want all your linemen. You want them to have fairly good long arms to hold people off. So, yeah, like I said, I expect there's going to be not a lot of changes, but I think they're going to look at that offensive line a little bit and maybe some receiver help. But other than that, the Patriots look like they're ready to make a decent.
They're going to be a playoff team again.
And Seattle, I don't know how many I haven't done the deep dive on free agency or any of that stuff yet. So we'll have to wait and see.
But I think they have some issues that they're going to probably have to release a couple guys. Mm-hmm. Kenneth Walker 3 is going to go into free agency. So
right when he's getting hot, right when he's getting good.
Super Bowl MVP is going to go into free agency.
So we have that to look forward to.
So anything can happen. Free agency starts in
March,
2.5 months.
Yeah.
Well, 6 weeks, something like that.
The legal tampering aspect happens in like 4 weeks, when you can franchise tag people. But after that, then it becomes.
So a couple shockers about this game for me was Clint Kubiak was interviewed after the game, and he said, "Yes, I'm taking the coaching job at the Raiders."
Which I think violates some rule they have about.
I thought they weren't allowed to interview and all that.
No. The week when they're not playing football, they can do like a Zoom interview.
Okay.
Or they can go the Raiders organization can go to Seattle and interview them in the Seattle facility. But then that week of the game, no contact, no talk. So that deal was done. It sounds like before the Super Bowl,
So it's one of those things. It's like, okay, I've already got another job, so I could just throw this game for Vegas if I wanted to.
If it was going to help their draft picks.
But that's the thing. It's I don't know. It's such a gray area that it doesn't seem right to me.
And again, I'm going to go back to the Rooney Rule. Did Vegas interview any black coaches? Because I don't remember seeing any headlines about it.
I don't know. They're not the Buffalo Bills that put up every coaching interview.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure there's probably some transparency with the league on that. They have to submit
paperwork. I'm sure,
paperwork or something after that law went through.
I want to see in triplicate who all you're interviewing.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the most important aspect of the game. How would your prop bets work out for us?
Oh, my goodness. So this was actually the most exciting part of the game.
I told you, the most important part of the game. Your prop bets. Hello.
It was the most exciting for sure. So I did throw the prop bets out in the house here, and everybody had fun kind of guessing. I will reiterate the prop bets with the results now. Starting with the national anthem, Charlie Puth national anthem. I said 2 minutes and you had to pick under or over. I thought it was hilarious because I had a timer out.
I did
apparently too. Terry did too, because he sent me the screenshot of his timer. It was just under a minute 58. It was 1:57.7.
Yeah.
So if you had the over, you lose. Under wins here. This one was difficult. I had to go back and rewatch the game. Chris Collinsworth says, "Now here's a guy." I had set it 3.5.
He did say it in a commercial as well. So did that count or not? I needed clarification on that.
No, that's a commercial.
Okay,
It had to be
all
during
right.
the game.
All right.
I did hear him say it once. That was it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So that's the under on that one. Back to Chris Collinsworth. Mentioning Mahomes, I had it at 2.5.
No, he did compare a couple of dancers to Mahomes. They've got moves like Patrick Mahomes. I did.
He did not mention Mahomes.
Not at all. No.
Not at all. And it turns out that there was online betting going on that he was going to glaze Mahomes, and he was aware of it. So he purposely did not use Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
He's savvy enough. He may have actually bet on that on himself just for the money.
Right?
You know, put a couple G down to make some cash. I can see that. Yeah.
All right. So next we had Bad Bunny special guests. I had locked in at 4.5, and Terry and I went back and forth on this one. It turned out to be 5. And if you're familiar with Spanish celebrities, it would have been 8.
Yeah, there was a couple of Latin musicians that I didn't recognize them either. I had to go and look it up the next day on Google. I had to Google it yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, so we had 5 special guests from Bad Bunny, 3 of which were just dancers in the background. We had Pedro Pascal, we had Cardi B, and we had Jessica Alba.
See, I didn't see Jessica, but that's probably because the order of protection's still in place. I can't be within 500 feet of her, you know, so.
Well, when you did propose to her, that restraining order got pretty heavy.
Yeah, you tried to warn me, buddy, but, you know.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so we're moving on into the game stuff. I said first score would be a field goal. It was a field goal.
Absolutely.
And then there wasn't a lot of scoring.
No, but you got that. But you got that field goal in. That's important. The first field goal. Yeah.
Total points I had listed at 48.5. Total points was 42. So if you took the under there, good for you. Trick plays I had set at 2.5. It was 1.
I didn't remember 1. Who was the one?
Yeah, so it was in the backfield in the second quarter. Sam Darnold did a little switcheroo, tossed the ball back and forth 3 times before it went for a run.
Right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they did a little lateral thing going on, crisscross applesauce.
Yep.
So there was 1 trick play. 465 total passing yards. You said good luck, buddy, with that one. I should have got you to cue the tape on that. Total passing yards, 497.
Really?
Drake May threw for 235 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Missed kicks. I had 1.5. There were 0 missed kicks. And finally, a non-quarterback passing play at 1.5. We didn't see it. So under there.
Since we're talking about kicking attempts, that punter for Seattle has people afraid to catch the ball.
Yeah, he puts this like wicked spin on it, so it's almost impossible to fair catch it.
Yeah. So people just let it hit the ground, and in one instance it hit the ground and rolled to the 1 yard line.
Yeah, everybody, you could hear everybody going, "Leave it, leave it," and then it would take a Seattle bounce.
If you are so good at punting that the other team doesn't want to catch your punts, you deserve some sort of award.
And the other thing that kicker does is he can put it within the 8 yard to the end zone out of bounds to like really pin a team back. Like he has this wicked kick.
The spin,
and he can go left or right, and he can just doink it just short of the out of bounds line for it to go out of bounds, and he can pin a opposing team back
and the spin,
behind the 8 yard line.
When it lands, the spin actually kind of dead balls it where it lands. Yeah, it's wild.
It's so cool. Like he's a really good punter.
Yeah, he really is. So that brings us to, I think, the next thing we want to talk about here. By the way, your football deviled eggs looked pretty good.
They were devilish.
I did the Italian beef and some mozz, and I knew I was successful when Selena went back yesterday to make leftovers herself without me reminding her there's leftovers.
I feel that. I have leftovers too. I have to get myself out of the Super Bowl food mentality. I usually host a party every year, and there's 10 to 15 people here, so I usually overdo food. Well, I change things up because I found that when I host a party, I basically miss the entire game. I miss the one thing that I'm passionate about is the actual football.
Right.
So I had to do something for me, and I had to kind of put a boundary around it and okay, I'm going to have a friend over. So I ended up making pizza, chicken wings, nacho football deviled eggs, chips and dip, sausage rolls. There's still a lot of food left over. I was still eating chicken wings today.
I'm going to be having Italian beef for lunch or for dinner later tonight. So yeah, there's food left here. So
yeah, it's just I tried to go with the traditional football spread and make it easy. I'm oh, there's not going to be 15 people here, so I don't need to do 10 pounds of pulled pork and chili and all the things that I usually do. I still overdid it.
Well, it happens. It happens.
The football deviled eggs, by the way, Terry, you're probably were they good? 1/2 of those eggs, so basically one portion, was a meal in itself. Oh, it was insane. It was insane. There was a couple left over, believe it or not, and I only did a dozen eggs.
Well, that I can see that though, because I like deviled eggs, so I can see. Let's say overindulging in deviled eggs a little bit.
A lot of people do, especially around Thanksgiving. It's the deviled eggs are for the guests. Remember, Mom was don't touch the deviled eggs; they're for the guests. And there's you're taking one and then rearranging the plate to make it look like no deviled eggs are missing, and then you go back for another one. It gets harder and harder to rearrange the plate every time.
And you're distracting Mom. Mom, the dog ate your shoes, and she goes around the living room, and you're having another bite. Yeah. So, I guess is that do it for us for the year?
That does it for us for the season. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody tuned in, everybody that interacted with us, everybody that supported us this year, this season. We really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. It was nice talking to people on the phone too, like Deb and Chris and Joe. I really like that, and I really enjoy that, and I'd like to do that next season, get people more involved on the phone with those quick little 2-minute one-hitters we're popping up on Saturdays. Those are fun.
Yeah, and I don't think we waste people's time this year with talking about the draft or anything like that, and that's for hardcore footballers, and I don't even watch the draft anymore. I just wait till the next day to see which position everybody went.
I might watch the first round just to see who goes the top 10.
First round's a pretty star-studded event too, and just to see who goes. But I think that Fernando, what's his name?
From Indiana?
Yeah, from Indiana. He's going to the Raiders, number 1 pick.
He's going to the Raiders, and Max Crosby doesn't want to come back. So you got that going for you.
Oh, a funny stat, just before we end this thing. Geno Smith is the only guy to get the same head coach fired 2 seasons in a row.
And he had a couple of seasons in Seattle where he looked pretty good.
Yeah, Geno got him fired, and they both went to Las Vegas, and then he got fired again.
Yeah,
So there's that going for him. So just thank you to everybody that helped us out, that supported us, that threw up those likes, that shared our things. We appreciate every one of you. We hope you had a wonderful ride with us this season. We loved driving the ship.
Absolutely. It's one of the highlights of my week. Watching the games, but then I get to talk to my buddy Adam for an hour or so a couple days later, and the food thing. It was nice seeing what people were making and having them chime in. Damon popped in once in a while. Deb was really, really involved in the food thing. Your friend, I forgot his name, Randy,
yeah.
Randy popped in there, told us he was just digging in the refrigerator looking for leftovers a couple of times. That was fun. So
hey. Every little bit counts. So, and of course, I want to thank my co-host. It's always a pleasure, talking football and the X's and O's with you every week, buddy, and gives us an excuse to stay connected.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Absolutely. So I almost wish we had better music for this, like a slow roll music,
like a sad, like Titanic kind of vibe.
Yeah. Adam, where can the boys and girls find you at?
Well, they can find me at Adam Off the Couch on X and Instagram, and you can find us both on our Facebook page, Straight Off the Couch, or you could find us on Instagram. We're not posting much there, but we will. Straight Off the Couch podcast.
Yeah, we're building up the Instagram thing. We just started it. We kind of late to the party on Instagram, but we're gonna work on that. You can find me on the X at TREMUP, and on Instagram at Tear 'em Up Terry. Thank you for spending the season with me, Adam. I really have a lot of fun talking football with you.
Yeah, it's the best, isn't it?
So for my broadcast partner, don't leave things unsaid. Check on those you love. Until next time, see you later, everybody.